Peace, power, and love. Humam Abdulmalik again. Before the sunrise with Blackanized international Nubian consciousness. Conscious chess moves. As we continue to play or be serious at this situation in life, political strife, developing and creating and being a part of the master's plan to come together and unify and develop an infrastructure of righteousness and holiness and entrepreneurship and overcoming our idiosyncrasies, hurt and pain that we suffer in order to gain some sanity in this dimension of insanity run by insane people playing a game to maintain their status quo and use us to perpetrate this system continuously with materialistic comforts and gains and stuff like that, to overlook the holistic picture and deal with parts and parcels of it. But third day of this political charade, but it is what it is according to the system, because the system is in place and they did or he was selected. But we gotta, like they always say, get over it. Get over it. It is what it is. Just like when we was in captivity. Get over it. Get over it. You're playing a race card. Today is get over it. Get over it. You're playing the political card. He was selected by the electoral vote. Not popular vote, but that's the way it goes. In a game where your vote's supposed to count, or our vote's supposed to count, or whatever. And it's always we or us, but is it really? Are we truly represented in this political quandrum or political series or whatever? I just like to, for a moment, I just want to give prayer, a moment of silence right now for all the people that's dying or been killed by our own hands and by the hands of those that supposed to be protecting us and all. I want to give prayer, and I want to connect with the Creator and our ancestors this morning very early, because I think that's what we need to do. We need to be very spiritually inclined in this day and time and develop our mind along those lines, purify our temple along those lines. We got to come out the materialistic concept and control and unfold our humanity and sanity based on spirituality, African spirituality, along with all the practices of these institutionalized religions, because we're the majority of people in them. And this, let's say, it's by our choice, of course, but manipulation, somewhat too. But anyway, let's have a moment of silence for Sandra Bland, Trayvon Martin. Go back to Diallo, Sir Brother Bell. Like to say amen, Ashe, Hotep, Salamu Alaikum, peace, peace. I want all us to come together under whatever banner, whatever tree, whatever way of life we follow. We need to come together based on our humanity, our melanin connection. We have to, because that is the divine connection. That is the natural connection. I want to say that the sisters in D.C., Seattle, Washington, China, London, all over the world, they came together. I'm talking about the matriarchic power, essence, natural. I'm saying nature. I'm talking about equivalent to nature and natural, divine, matriarchic power, melaninated, came together in protest, but the energy that brought all those people together all around the world is very powerful. And what you gonna tell me it took 3 days to do that? It seems as though that's very powerful. Or this was planned before this election or whatever. A worldwide movement, powerful, of our sisters. That matriarchic power, once again, that brings in peace and harmony. Because when we was under matriarchic, meiotic rule, it was peace and harmony. I'd like to commend those sisters in the power of that, in the connection, the divine connection of that, in the natural aspect of that. And a lot of people, a lot of sisters were making some statements, them matriarchic, powerful sisters. I'd like to shout out or like give accolades to the sisters that I know in particular, always with a African-centered disposition. That's Sister Sharia Gant. Her and a few sisters, they made a powerful statement. They said that white feminism comes off the back of black sisters, melanated sisters. In all that crew there, they made that statement. And other melanated sisters was making statements like that in the midst of all that unnatural stuff. In their protests. But that energy, that's what I want us to reflect on. That matriarchic energy, that power, once again is rising up in this age of Aquarius. It's rising up to connect with the divine essence that's coming down. See, we have to understand our universe that's connecting with the universe, like the subconscious and the conscious merging, coming together. It's giving us power. It's giving us spiritual power. We got to understand that. We got to understand that we got to stop looking outside of ourselves for the Creator. And according to African spirituality, the Creator is in us, in this temple we call the body. We got to understand that we are divine beings, spiritual beings. And through love, we must heal, the love for each other. We must heal in order to get over this hill of deception that's created for us, this hill of illusion that's created for us, to make our life a struggle. But through all hardships of life are the spice of life that molds and makes the perfect man and woman. But we got to understand who we are so we can understand and overstand that and deal with as above, so below. But that was a worldwide demonstration of matriarchic power. Worldwide, simultaneously. Of not a few people, but each and every one of those demonstrations had at least 400,000 or 500,000 to a million people, feminine energy, matriarchy energy, the goddess of the world, that divine energy, that synergy, vibration, and frequency come together like that. And once our women rise up, kings rise up and come into ma'at, that balance, we be focused on that in this day and time, in this political charade that's going on, this political parade that's going on. And a lot of people say it's just politics as usual. The system gonna keep running. But you don't hear the wheels need oiling. You don't hear that they getting ready to do some other things that's coming down the line. You don't realize that. I apologize for that. But it's all right. I'm right back. But anyway, we got to realize what we're up against. We're up against a mentality, a soulless mentality of people that have ulterior motives on a high level that's controlling the system. Their ulterior motives is not for everybody. It seems as though, say, like, people still saying, give him a chance. Give him a chance to make America great again. Based on what? Based on what? Rhetoric? Based on his business astuteness? Based on him being a billionaire? Based on everything that he do, he gonna get refunded from it, residue income from it, in the position where he ain't supposed to be doing stuff like that. But worse still is the cabinet, the people around him, the mentality that they have when their own people talk about them. I ain't talking about us on the outside or us on the inside or whatever. I'm talking about them. The people, say the Blue Dogs or some Republicans. We know how they were against the other emperor that was in there. Because all this is based on the Roman concept of politics or whatever. But those people around him that he selected those people with ulterior motive. I mean, with a directed motive. His thinking, and their thinking put together, he's molding and shaping this system or society the way he wants, the way he sees, through his ego maniac disposition. So we have to look at that. And if we say, give him a chance and politics as usual, is we accepting the fact that these European Neanderthal the leadership with that mentality, we accept the fact that it's based on white supremacy and institutionalized racism. But we can live under that long as we doing all right. Long as we get some of that money that's going to come down, or the money that, because it's all about money in this corporation. And that's what everybody, they licking their lips about the money. Not about the concern of the layman, not about the concern of the people in this class system. If they first class, second class, third class, what about the people on the foundation, on the bottom ground? What about these people that don't have understanding of themselves, don't have, say, proper indoctrination or whatever? That's where we got to develop that self-esteem, that self-motivation. That's where we those that proclaim to be righteous and holy and conscious and have knowledge and this and that. This is where we become unselfish. This is where we, uplift through propagation of truth of academic excellence. This is where we promote our youth, protect our youth and our elders, and we take control of our communities. We don't need the slave catcher in our communities. We also don't need crime in our communities. We don't need drug selling in our communities. We don't even need alcohol in our communities. We need to purify. We have to understand that this feel-good sensation, I mean, I feel so good. And how could you feel so good when you're in a state of stupor? Stupor, stupid, whatever you want, however you want to put it. When you're chasing a high illusion, a feeling, immediate gratification, sensationalism, you're chasing it. That's a natural thing. When you're naturally high, you don't have no ill effects from it. And you can get high as you want. You can overdose on a natural high and you still be all right. See, and a natural high is a divine natural drug. It's a natural drug where you ain't got to take nothing but breathe the air. And that's all you got to do. You got to spend no money for it. It's free. You ain't got to commit no crime for it. It's free. You ain't got to hurt nobody. It's free. But we got to develop that in our heart and in our mind and become divine individuals, man. Stop hurting each other and seek the guidance of our sister, man. Even though we are co-leaders, our sisters, the matriarchic queens, they are the first teachers. All life comes from them, through them. We the seed planters, sure. You can put that seed wherever, but if it don't come through that canal of life, through the yoni, then it ain't coming into existence. So we got to realize that and hold our sisters in high homage, play highest respect due to the sisters, especially our conscious sisters. Just conscious enough to deal with all our sisters, pulling them up. And the conscious brothers got to deal with this essence of pulling us up, lifting us up. It's natural, scientific, and we have the course to do that. We got a pathway of signs, and we have torches of light. We have light bearers that and we got master teachers. We got masterminds that gave us a divine sign to follow, a pathway to follow within this political system, this political circus. At some times it can be that, and we got people that want to be the master, the ring master, through their ego, their arrogance and their self-centeredness. I did this, I done this. What about we done this? We done this. We developed this. We helped them. We is way greater than me. Or I. But as individuals, we got to develop. Again, I like to, that's that matriarchic power. Can't you feel it? That energy. That natural energy of our sisters standing up for a cause that they believe in. A worldwide energetic movement, a divine movement in the essence of the synergy, vibration, and frequency, and worldwide, making statements of development, of coming together, of saying, the same energy that was displayed there, we need to have that same energy pertaining to our conditions, pertaining to our communities, building up our communities. That same energy but on a holistic front. You know, it was like it was a Million Man. It was like sort of similar. It was greater than the Million Man March with the same concept. And we seen the difference of all those people that claim that those people that didn't vote for Trump. Get over it. Where were you at the inauguration? Or it's not that many of you. So the electoral vote had a lot to do with that, right? Had to. Or y'all just couldn't get there, or y'all didn't want to come. Because I never seen that many empty seats on the parade walk of a president, of a sitting president. I have never seen that. And I'm young though, but I still haven't seen that. So all this stuff or fanfare about his popularity, that's only done on the media screen, which they control, to, you know, manipulate your sight through television. It tells you what to do through vision. It's that program, mass media, mass mind control system is television. I just want to keep that picture of a worldwide demonstration that this system brought about through the trickery and manipulation of the political machine, where the popular vote don't really count, where the electoral vote is the instrument of putting the people in. Even though you get the popular vote and your vote's supposed to count, you got another mechanism to override that. And I still want to say that that energy was very good, though, especially from our matriarchic sisters making those statements, even though it was down with them feminists and all that. But the natural aspect, divine aspect of it, it was strong of those people, our sisters, to be in the midst of all that, making the statements that they did. Special, again, I want to give this loud shout out to Sister Sherelle Gant and the sisters that were with her that represented us in Washington, Ward 8. That was great, very great. And that message was sent worldwide. See, feminism riding on the back of the black woman, melanated woman, on the back of civil rights, but we should be dealing with human rights a long time ago. But that's what the arena we got to get on, because we're on the world stage. Even all of it is connected, but we as the people must change our situations and our communities. We the people must stand up and do something. Do what we got to do, what we know we need to do in order to deal with our needs and not our wants. Again, through love. Love touching the heart of our brothers and sisters in our communities all over the country, where death is running rampant in our community. For what reason, I don't know. Drugs running rampant in our community. Weapons running rampant in our community. It's all by design. I heard a brother talking the other day about, it was a call-in station with our Ward 8 council member, Mr. White, was on a radio station or something. Oh, I see something. Can I break for a minute? Oh, man. I'm going to leave it right there. If it cut off, I'll deal with it. Hope I don't have that on. And a brother called in because they were saying, where do they get all these guns from in our community? And there was a call-in thing, and I'll be saying it's by design. But a brother said they be going on the internet and getting these banana clips with 50 shots and all that, and that's how they be getting all that stuff. But it's still by design. If the NSA and the NSC has control of everything they see and know what we do, they can't control that if they wanted to. So we in our community, man, we gotta find that love within ourselves, man, and stop harming ourselves. I mean, I know we gotta grow spiritually. We gotta overcome that animalistic nature, that predatorial nature that is developing us from our upbringing or whatever, going through institutions or just being in a community, you know, being the best at this and the best at that, and the concepts that we use and all that. But I beg, plead, I will it into existence that we got to heal, especially our young warriors on them street corners. We got to heal. We are the masters of our destiny. We are the creators of our destiny. We got to get in that energetic power, that divine power. We got to get a spiritual connection. Man, go through them doors of them churches and them masjids or them synagogues and get in touch with yourself. Get in touch with the creator that's in you, man. Believe in yourself. Don't believe in what's been created in your consciousness and have you under robot control, because then you be used and don't even know it. I want to read something to us. It's out of a book. It's called 360 Degrees, A Revolution of Black Poets. And this is called Hardcore. It is hardcore, and this is by a brother named Wadu. I'm going to read 2 poems by him. The other poem is very potent also. This is for all those supposed hardcore hip-hoppers hopping around on one leg in the wrong direction, being spoon-fed the notion that black on black crime is somehow sexy. That if you look like you can kill somebody, you ain't got to be able to do it. But if you look like you can kill somebody, then you all that. Imitation-based sounds destroy black boy creativity. Turn them into pistol whippers of family members, and though there is no deeper meaning, imaginary talent recycles young folk over and over with a hip-hop lifespan of 2.34 records. Boom, bip. But him was a real bop on the cover of Rap Weekly, bald-headed with a snarl of spit hanging from his lower lip, financially secure, synthetically angry. His job was to keep black boys pointed toward prison. So him dressed like a convict, at least him was told to dress like a convict, because that's what sold records. Incarcerated clothing, droopy dreams, oversized backwardness, with drawers showing IQ sizes, and learn symbols of power. Learn symbols of power. Strapped in front of his pelvis. Him said, "Let me hear the ladies make some noise." Somebody said, "Oh, yeah." They say you be sexy if you hardcore. If you could stroke a girl while drinking a 40, bust a cap in her temple while stabbing your brother in a video dream. Put a gat in your mouth, fool. So-called him sexy man. Big Daddy all pennies. The Mac machine, money maker. G-Love, you too much. Bitch nigga African. Him wore a medallion with misspelled words. A cold-blooded X-Curl commercial for young people to follow and white folk to exploit. He had a chainsaw in the projects like a big gimmick with no trees to cut. The Negro rapper boy, he wanted the world to believe him out of his mind, so he get respect from other people who be stupid. But you see, the source of hip-hop flows from pocket of white folks. telling us what they spend their money on and what they want. Okay, little black boys, we pay for images of anger and self-control and lack of self-control. So we split some of your bald head skulls, we'll be able to justify it. Now stand over there with this beer bottle and gun in your hand and say cheese. So America's Most Wanted posters can match your album cover. You see, when you own the circus, when you come out of the pocket and pay for the circus, the clowns have to dress up the way we want them to dress, or they can't perform. No other group of people will allow their children images to be betrayed as something so insignificant. Therefore, is the label that pays me. Watch the trick. You can dance now. You can dance now. I hope we got that. I hope we got that, because we get a inkling of some of that when we have that information about those rappers and all that, and even people in the movie industry have to sell their soul to get those big old wealthy contracts. But it's all geared to having us portray a certain image of us to the world. And the world look at us like we the niggas, but we the niggas, as a niggasty, kings and queens and goddesses and gods. And the people that control this system are those people that have that mentality, but they manipulate us through mass mind control, indoctrination, all these things, and have us sell our soul for these materialistic gains, this glittering gold. And here's another poem by a brother, Wadu, and I think it's very, very potent. Poetry is an artistic thing that we need, as we say, revolutionary spirit, the development of that divine spirit on the pathway of our ancestors. It's a way of communication. It's the way of the griot, to keep the story of our story alive, and poetry and words, the methodology of that. So poetry is an avenue for us to communicate and create that picture upon the canvas of our minds to develop into the divine being that we should be, or to destroy the images, negative images that's created in us in our communities. So this is 3003. The year 3003, black people are 2 shades lighter, and predominantly Republican. The best-selling album is by Public Friend #1, entitled Scared of a Mulatto Planet. The middle class has really moved in the middle, while African Americans set up underneath the front of the bus, satisfied but holding on tight. 6 white people still wait for a blue-eyed hippie named Christ to come again, still waiting. A Japanese homosexual was elected president of the U.S., beating out Jesse by 2 votes. Run, Jesse, run. Israel need to expand because 3 more people became Jews, occupying Africa, all the Middle East, and Jamaica, just in case the ozone came and gone twice. Water has evaporated. American Indians sold as antiques, while ads on sale for $3.50 a breath. Children are raising their parents. The homeless, hell yeah, still the homeless, while the projects have been renamed minimum security holding facilities. Teenage pregnancy is required. Abortion is mandatory, while cross-dressing is the fashion of the time. The price of gold is up. South Africans are free to do absolutely nothing as the revolution revolves. Congress passed a bill making moral illegal. I said Congress passed a law making morals illegal. Education is cheap. Drugs are free. While God, my God, God, has been banned in 33 states. Moving forward, as we head into the future, blindfolded, on roller skates, making progress. 3003. Can I get a witness? Now, man, a whole lot of those lines in there you can see. One of them that really stuck out to me, we hold one of our brothers in high esteem. That was a brother Nelson Mandela in South Africa. Great man, great brother. Take nothing from him, an iconic figure. But when he became the president of South Africa, that statement in South Africa came free to do absolutely nothing. That stuck out to me. Who still control all the resources in South Africa that makes up that GOP, gross national GNP or something, gross national product, with all the diamonds, the beers and all that, all those mines over there? Who still controls that? The money, the wealth of Africa is in the minerals that they place values in. And who controls that? It's needless to say those Jews, Einstein or the Goldbergs or whoever, those two-syllable people or two-syllable name people still control the minerals in South Africa. That's why I read that for us to reflect. And the other one before that, hip-hop, that scene there. We gotta, if we're gonna be in it, we're gonna control it from here on. We got to control it. We can't keep selling our soul. We got enough money. The money that they gave us or the money that we have or earned from them, that's your money. You can do what you want to do with it now. Now it's time to distribute, become distributors of the music. Whatever they do, we got to counter it. Whatever the system do, we got to counter it. We got to take our power back. We got to take it black to where it was beneficial. It was beneficial for us as a people. It's about all of us on this planet. But to the extent until we get ourselves together, when we can clean up our house and straighten up our house, do spring cleaning or whatever in our minds, and come back and so we can represent ourselves in the arena of in the context of being acceptable. When we can accept ourselves, clean ourselves up, and we can be acceptable in the united world view to overcome these misconceptions of us as a people. What they see of us, what's been broadcast around the world of us, the hip hop gender and all that, the sagging pants and killing each other and selling drugs to each other. I'd like to commend our brothers, the Bloods and the Crips, for coming together. I don't know what's going on in Chicago. That's a lot of killing of us, man. I don't think that's all from our hand, though. Like in the beginning in Washington, D.C. in the early 70s, late 70s and early 80s and all the 90s and all that. I don't think that was all from our hand. Like, we seen a lot of this stuff, assassination of our brothers and murder of our brothers, not from our hand. We got to stop that. We got to come together and soldier our community. We got to protect our community. We got to protect our youth and our elders, especially in this political climate. I want to give a shout out again to our beautiful sisters who stood up and represented that matriarchic power, that divine essence in the spirit of Ma'at, in the spirit of melaninated blackness. stood up in the midst of all that other stuff. Well, I'll say that protest was good in the sense that the world is against this mentality or this spirit that is coming about that has a position of power. And in that position of power has a power that's going to be and it's going to be accepted by those with that patriotic spirit, right? They're going to promote this because that's what they do. The system is the system, and the system perpetrates itself. So if you're in the system, you're part of the system, you're of the system. So whatever the systematic voice tell you to do, you're going to be in accord with that. So the mentality that we got that's in the office of power, sitting on the throne, going to promote that. We're going to feel the effects of it. Some people say this is going to be all right, or, give them a chance and all that. With Congress the way it is, about how it is and what it's about and who it's about and all that, it's kind of, it's almost skeptical to do that, to even think like that. Because if a racist is going to be a racist, it's going to be a racist. And if you got a circle of racists on your team, then it's going to be a racist agenda. And it don't change. They just put more drugs into the community. That's social narcotics, or white supremacy, and institutionalized racism. And then they're going to also have that Willie Lynch syndrome that they're going to promote also. They promote it through these Jews and these homosexuals that control the financial dealings and the people, international bankers in the Kabul states, along with the Vatican, Rome, and Washington, D.C. And that's what we got to know, and we got to believe in ourselves in this day and time from time before. Because we in the energy that's pulled us up of the struggle before us that our ancestors been in. We at this point now, a lot of us is like, we're in the positions of power, we're in the position of financial wealth, but it can't be individual. We got to develop our institutions. We got to develop the land that we can call our own again. Because they came and took our land. They took our land from us, took our minds from us, and took our spirits from us. But we have regained that. We never, they took it to a certain degree. They never really got it out of us because it's natural. They just blocked the frequency of it, the frequency, that divine frequency and the energy and vibrations connected to the divine essence of our being. And they try to block it because the stimuli, the natural stimulus of the sun, they try to block the sun. They try to use chemicals to block it, the fluoride, the pacifiers, and immunization of our females and of our males, emasculation of our males. It's all by design, population control. They're trying to kill us out because they're dying out naturally. It ain't racism to be a race man, but it's racism when you support racism by inflicting genocide upon the people, manipulating the people to have them incur self-inflicted genocide. We must overcome that, and we must realize who we are as a people, divine people, melanated people, and come together in ma'at, balance, develop institutions that benefit us as a people, as race people. We have to be about healing us through the suffering that we've been through, the traumatic slave captivity syndrome, because we can never be slaves unless we accept that. We are free. We're natural men. We're not straw men based on their commercialized laws of monetary laws and all that citizenship type stuff. See, but for me, I'm a universal being. My citizenship is of the whole world, the whole galaxy, because I'm part of the creator. The energy in me, the carbon in me is part of the whole existence, what is and what hasn't come into being yet. I'm connected to that. It's an energetic being. And I strive for that and I live for that. And I want to give a shout out to one more sister, a strong sister as far as medical stuff goes. This Dr. Khadija Kern Davis folks, but energetic medicine, quantum health, informational medicine. And if you come across that name on Facebook, look her up. She's the Harriet Tubman of the medical system, the medical paradigm. Because, see, they enslave us in many ways, and the medical enslavement is one of them. We got a lot of people on those synthetic drugs, those man-made drugs. Legal drugs, but they're drugs, and we're addicted to that, and that's part of the game. The medical industrial complex. And I want to say to my matriarchic sisters, I want to say Hotep, Ashe, Alhamdulillah, Salam, peace, black power, humanity power, and the power of humanity, melanated power. Keep rising up, my sisters, to the level of goddesses, so you can bring the brothers up to be gods within and overcome the perpetrated synthetic sin. See, they talk about we were born in sin. No, we was born into peace and love, by peace and love. No pun intended. But anyway, everybody, tell somebody that you love them, motivate somebody, stimulate somebody with the word of truth, and have a revolutionary spirit and all humble and humility, in the way of humility. Be about peace, be about love, be about healing, but be the warrior. Be the warrior queen, and the warrior queen, and the warrior prince, and the warrior princess. And be protectors of one another. Have honor in who you are as a people. Know that his story is his lies. Know that our story should be grandized into the reality in our eyes. So when physically you see us, you see the light that shines from an internal energy that they call God. But we know it's the creative energy that's divine. That's what you see, because that's what's in us. We got to develop our energy, alignment of our chakras. We got to get that understanding of who we are, energetic beings, about understanding of the kundalini, our spinal cord, about the pituitary and the pineal gland within our brain, and the melatonin that stimulates that and enhance our consciousness and merge our consciousness and subconsciousness. And so when you dream, you can understand that because you're a divine being. And all love and respect and honor due to our matriarchic queens. I say Hotep, Ashe once again. And to our brother kings and gods, I say we got to rise up, but we got to unify. And all the argument and bickering about what is it about? And we come together. We so conscious, man, but we get caught up in the divide and conquer methodology of the people that have us under attack. We got to be mindful of that. We got to be pure in our agenda. We also got to be understanding, aware of agent provocateurs that's trying to stop this movement. That some people sold their soul and become Negropean. I don't know who they is, because if I knew, I would do something or suggest something be done about it. My sister, Sheree Gant, power, my beloved sister, my young sister, is very dynamic in her motion, her vibration, her frequency, and her synergy of uplifting the people, uplifting her community, uplifting the world, because it's a world movement. I commend you. I didn't know all the other sisters, I maybe did, but I knew you, and what you, that sign, that post, the midst of that was great, my sister. Much love and respect. And that's for all my matriarchic sisters, all my matriarchic goddess and queens. And my brothers, I know all my brothers that's gods and kings and warriors. I give a shout out to you too. And I mean, my brothers, Mr. Poole and Mr. Witherspoon, my lifetime friends, that's my brothers. Malik Farrakhan, Yango, all these brothers that's great in their endeavors in the community, on the world scene. Anybody I left out, it's not intentional, it's not in purpose. But y'all know y'all greatness. Y'all know y'all movement, y'all, let me see, y'all endeavor. Oh, I can't leave out my brother, Ron Moulton, with his great activity in the community. Brother ain't bring me none of them Dutch shoes back, but it's cool. Anyway, and my beautiful sister, Kimberly Harris, doing her thing in Ward 8. Strong sister in Ward 8, of Ward 8. For the people, about the people, on the Trayon White's committee or team, that he always my sister. You don't have to thank me, I need to thank you. You that matriarchic queen that put forth the effort to lead and guide. But I want to commend the brother Trayon White too for his vision of a movement that is going on in Ward 8 to lift Ward 8 out of that cesspool that maybe people think it's been in, but all it is growth and development. Growth and development from a seed to a tree. Now the tree gonna have branches, and we're gonna take a stand. And this is not an overnight thing. This is a process. And I just want to say we got to stand strong in this political climate, because the weather might get kind of cold and all that, because it's a winter in America, right? But it doesn't seem, because maybe they're dealing with the hot. We got to understand and learn everything about what's going on in the system and be prepared, be observant in our communities. So, again, tell somebody you love them, motivate somebody, stimulate somebody. And be somebody. Do something. Just don't stand there, do something. Because if you fall, if you don't, you'll fall for anything. And we can't do that no more. That time is over. It's about growth and development. It's about us building our own infrastructure within this infrastructure. And no matter what they do or how they do it, they can't stop this movement, because our movement is divine. From a divine perspective of understanding our inner verse, so we can have an effect on this universe and take it black again, take it black to the future. And with that I say, with that breath of fresh air that the Creator gave you today, go out there and be something positive. Stimulate somebody. Tell them that you love them. Tell them that we building this movement for us, worldwide, connected to a divine energy that gives us precedence over this political system. The political system is nothing but politics, but we live in our life, and it's about life. With that I say I love you, and I say Ashe, Ashe Hotep. Alhamdulillah, assalamu alaikum.